So the earliest memory I have of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was that I watched one of the three films from the 90s at a summer camp as a kid. I think it was either the first or the second one, to be honest, but I did enjoy it. And then I remember watching the 2007 version, which I really wanted to see it in theaters, and I'm pretty sure I did, but I know for sure I owned the DVD. And while I really enjoyed it, I haven't rewatched it since. Apparently, a lot of people hate that version, which is wild considering it has Chris Evans as Casey Jones and Sarah Michelle Gellar as April O'Neil. Yes, Captain America and Daphne. I don't get it either. But fast forward to 2014, where I saw the live action remake mainly for Megan Fox, and of course, curiosity to see how they handled this property. And I did enjoy it. But for some reason, I never saw the sequel. I bought the Blu ray for it with my grandfather, but I never saw it. So basically, the Turtles have played a somewhat interesting role in my life, given that I still remember watching those films or having at least a core memory with these films. And come to my surprise, I watched this new version at a special screening and it brought back all of these feelings and more. And I didn't expect to love this movie as much as I did. But wow, did they deliver with this film? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to For the Agenda. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Huang, and on this channel, I essentially watch mainstream content and let you know if it's worth your time because your time is valuable and no one should tell you otherwise. So today, I'm going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This is the newest Ninja Turtles film, which hit theaters. I think it's already on video on demand by the time this goes up, but we need to talk about this film because I really enjoyed this film. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers through heroic acts. And their new friend, April O'Neil, helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. So this film is directed by Jeff Rowe, who co-directed The Mitchells vs. the Machine, which is an animated film I really enjoyed, much more than I was expecting to. And this is another film that I didn't expect to enjoy that much, yet I ended up loving this film. I think there are so many great things within this film that you don't have to be a Ninja Turtles fan to go watch this movie and enjoy it. And I think that's something that's really great to have in a film. You do get to introduce things to new audiences, but you also have something I think the fans can be proud of. So let's kick it off. I love the chemistry between Donnie, Mikey, Leo, and Raphael, and how they actually seem like teenagers, but not in the annoying way, in the way where a kid could watch that and go, that's so going to be me and my friends in the future. You know, they're goofy and they're funny and are so curious about learning about life and beyond what they know, even wondering what they would want for their own futures. And I think that's great. And at this point, they've yet to really become heroes, if you will. But along their journey, you get to see how they end up appreciating life and each other. I think this movie was much more beautiful than I expected it to be. I didn't have low expectations for this, but I went in with the expectation of at least having fun. And I ended up connecting with my inner child. So this movie is really, really good. I think, again, the journeys and messages here regarding fatherhood and acceptance were so well done and are really going to resonate with audiences. I don't want to spoil anything within the movie, but really, it was one of those moments where you're watching a movie you haven't heard that much about, and you're just left in a state of, I wasn't counting on something like that being in this movie. What other surprises do you have left in here? Also, the runtime in here, perfect. It's like 100 minutes and they go by quickly, like a 90-minute movie. And I think that's great. You can tell a really good story in under 2 hours, Hollywood. You can. Exhibit A, Mutant Mayhem. I think the jokes in here were fantastic. They're full of pop culture references. And when those kind of jokes are done right, they end up leaving me howling. I think that's great. The voice cast is excellent. I mean, Jackie Chan as Splinter, he does a phenomenal job and a real scene stealer. And Ice Cube as Superfly, I was not expecting to be this impressed by his role, but he killed it as well. The voices of our turtles were really well done and they have excellent chemistry. Ayo Edebiri as April O'Neil, she is on a roll and she is out here killing it. She was so good here. She really shines. And I was surprised to find out that Post Malone is also in this film. And it's definitely one of those moments when you look up the voice cast on Letterboxd You're going to be surprised by the amount of talent in this film, and everyone here delivers. The soundtrack was also extremely well done. You had some 90s hip hop hits, which were welcome surprises, but my favorite part was when a certain Bruno Mars song starts playing, and I apologize to the people sitting near me in case they heard me rapping the song, but I cannot help it. It is an absolute banger, and I knew in that moment that I loved this film. I mean, I did not even expect that song to show up, because you wouldn't expect that song in a kid's film, yet there we are. And I loved it. And the animation style, a lot of people have compared this to the similar style used in Into the Spider-Verse. And while I was one of them after watching the trailer doesn't even scratch the surface when it comes to the rest of this movie. I also noticed it has a similar style to The Mitchells vs. the Machine. Again, another great film, which you should definitely see if you haven't already. I think the color palette here is really great, especially the watercolor style used here from time to time. And it really brought out New York City, and it really made it feel so vibrant and special. And you can especially notice that in the hand-drawn, sketched out design seen throughout. And it makes the action scenes look so fun and cool, like you are a kid watching a cartoon you love again. I think, again, the film is very vibrant, it's colorful, it's different, and it's exciting to see because Into the Spider-Verse did break the mold when it came to using different animation styles. And you can argue that other studios have been trying to break away from the expected style for years, and you'd have a point. However, Into the Spider-Verse changed the game, and it made films like Mutant Mayhem possible. And Spider-Verse's impact is something that is going to be studied in film schools. Trust me on this one. That desire to bring something new and different stylistically to the table and fully realizing it as something audiences didn't know they wanted and now they want to see more of, that's seen in the Spider-Verse films, and that's especially seen here. The comparison is going to be unescapable, but the way this film manages to stand on its own as a complete product is quite impressive. And again, something I want to see more of. I'd love to see a sequel to this film. I really would, and I know they're planning it, but I really want it to happen. Side note, there is also a mid-credit scene that fans of the Ninja Turtles property will not want to miss. And what's interesting about this film is that it was announced in 2020, and then there was a live-action Ninja Turtle project announced in 2021. Which is going to be written by SNL's very own Colin Jost, who I think is hilarious, and his brother Casey Jost, who are fans of the Ninja Turtles property. That is always a good sign. Get people who are fans of the property to do a reboot, a remake. You always want them to be real fans. And while I don't know how they're going to surpass this film, I'd love to see it. I do, especially if we're going to get that film at the same time as we're getting, say, a sequel to Mutant Mayhem. I think that would be cool to see. I wouldn't mind seeing both of those if they come out the same year. I'd be down for it. And I especially feel that way after reading an article posted on April 2023 with an update of their script. And it sounds like it could be cool. But this sort of Ninja Turtle renaissance, resurgence, it's something I didn't think would happen. But I am so glad it's happening because I had forgotten how much fun this kind of film can be. Now, is this film made for adults, people in their 20s, teenagers, kids? Who is the specific demographic for this film? Here's the answer. Everyone in those age groups will find something to like about this film and connect to it. This isn't limited to just one type of audience. It's a party that everyone can enjoy and everyone should go enjoy. Start concluding this review, I think this was the surprise of the summer, and it's a film you can't end 2023 without watching. I'd go as far as to say I'd like to see this film compete for the Best Animated Feature Oscar. I think it's that good. It's a 100-minute joyride that doesn't overstay its welcome, and most importantly, recaptures the magic of the brand in a way that will work for fans of the previous installments and previous versions of the characters, but also for creating new fans. When I got out of this film, I gave this a 4 out of 5, but as I talk about it on a rewatch, I could go up to a 4.5 out of 5. It's a film that will only require you to have two things while you're watching it. You're going to get yourself a nice hot pizza from one of your favorite pizza places and a nice cold 2-liter bottle of soda of your choosing, because it's exactly what you need to complete the vibe of this film. Also, side note, it felt so weird to say 2-liter bottle of soda because in Puerto Rico, we call it a padrino. And I have that ingrained in my memory and will always refer to it as that. You know, the struggles of being bilingual. So that is my review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can hit the like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And you can follow me on Twitter. Yes, I'm going to keep calling it Twitter, Letterboxd, TikTok, @LeadingMohicans. And remember, regardless of what others feel about the things you love, it is always for the agenda. Bye.